So, like I said before, most of you joined. So, yesterday I had the experience of the miraculous. So, I attended a session by Jeevan Jaj every Thursday. They have a session about it's called the healing space or the open forum, where they discuss spiritual concepts, certain laws of the universe, and followed by that certain Q&A, certain questions and answers. I don't know what happened within me during the session. Something awakened. एक बत्ती जाग जाती है, some expression of divinity. I felt it during the session. And what happened after that was even more miraculous. So I planned just a spiritual contract thing that I will what I learned at IIN New York. So I'm doing a health coaching course, and that health coaching course about physical health also. But I was very surprised that people in America, people in New York also address spiritual health. It's a very vast course covering wide range of topics, but spiritual health is also a very important part of the curriculum. And what transpired after that is the PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to show you. So this PowerPoint presentation, I would say it was made in an hour or so, एक घंटा लगा मुझे रात को बनाने में, but it's a culmination of my 15 years of learnings. So I've learned from the Yoga Institute Santa Cruz. Yoga, what people normally understand, is only about the physical. No, it is yoga is the science of human mind. Yoga actually is the science of human mind, and the yoga theory is very deep, very vast. Then I did a course in Vedanta. Vedanta is about non-duality, Advait, which refers to something which what we learned today. Apart from that, I'm very honored, very blessed to learn from Bhuaji in the last 2 years. So many things about spiritual laws, building your spiritual muscles. So it's a culmination of all these years of knowledge that one are how the divinity express itself through me that I'm going to present today in the session. So I've renamed the session as spiritual health. Earlier it was just a spiritual contract. Now it's spiritual health. Okay. So when I talk about spiritual health, what does आपके मन में क्या आता है? English, Hindi, I'll just speak in a mix of English and Hindi. अगर कुछ नहीं समझे आपको, just unmute and ask me to repeat if you don't understand anything. So if I talk about spiritual health, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? It's an interactive session. It's not like I'm the teacher and you are the student. We all learn from each other. Yeah, Dolly.
Connection with God and connection with self.
Okay, connection with self, connection with God. So connection. Basically, let's put it as connection. Okay, Priya. Yeah.
Yeah, connection with your own self, with the oneness, the energy inside you, and stable, balanced.
Sorry.
Being stable, balanced.
Okay, so a new word, connection, is the same word that she used. Second word she used is balance. Okay. Any other word that comes to your mind? Keep it short.
I think
I have a long presentation today.
Spirituality actually means a right way of living. With the right things, right virtues, yeah, jo bhi keh lo, with the right things.
Okay, so certain virtues, right way of living.
Okay.
Translate that for me, sorry.
I feel with spiritual health, we have peace of mind.
Okay, spirituality helps you gain peace of mind. Okay. So mind. Okay, let's discover another word, mind, connection. What else? Calmness, positivity,
all the values,
purpose,
all the
values. Okay,
values.
Certain values. So values come to your mind. Sorry, Dimple.
Connect with oneness.
Oneness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spirit.
So see, the theme that is arising here is purpose. Okay. Oneness, meaning divine, being one with the universe. So these things, I have a beautiful audience today. I believe I'm very blessed to have you guys with me. So let's delve into why spirituality is important. आज हम सीखेंगे. So जो भी कोई unmute करता है ना, so please mute yourself back so that there is no distraction. This is being recorded also. So just to inform you, this is being recorded. Okay. So why spiritual health is important? So before we talk about spirituality, let's talk about science. Okay, because science means I'm talking about the scientists. They still do not acknowledge the mind. They still do not acknowledge the spirit. So let's understand first what is science. So I'm just going to share my screen now. It's a PowerPoint that I have made. I made yesterday after the session. Like I said, something transpired in the session and I was very fortunate to get this intuition because of which this happened. So here's the PowerPoint. Somebody say yes. You look at the screen now.
Yes, we
Somebody
can see.
yes, great. Okay. So the Institute of Holistic Abundance is my venture that I started in January this year. I've been teaching for the past 12 years, so I just give it a fancy name. This is just a fancy name that I've given. So here I teach how to live life, how to live a happy life, and how to live life to the fullest. So that is the message that I want to express through my institute. And the topic that I'm going to cover today is spiritual health. Okay. Said before we talk about spirituality, let's science. So chalo, spirituality bata diya, you guys were bang on for spirituality. Now, what is science? Who will say what is science? What does science speak about? Is my connection clear? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think yeah, connection was a weak. So let's talk about science. What does it come? What words comes to your mind when you talk about science?
Facts.
Science
Fact.
Facts.
experiments.
Okay.
Experiments.
Experiments. Facts. Yes, very good. What else?
Observation. Testing.
Observation. Okay. Observation. Logic.
Testing.
Right. So ये सब चीज हमारे sorry सीमा जी.
Testing. Testing. TEST. Test. We test. No.
Experiment. Test. Logic. Facts. Testing. Yes, testing. Absolutely. So let's understand science. So what?
Manish ji, it's a study of natural world.
Study of nature. Absolutely. We should clap for Madhuji. Excellent. So science explains. What does science explain? It explains the basic rules of nature through objective observation. The main word here is one is nature, one is objective, and one is observation. Okay. And scientific explanation, it should be logical, it should match the evidence. So science only understands objective things. It doesn't understand what is subjective.
मनीष आपकी आवाज कट रही है.
Yeah. Or is my connection unstable? आवाज कट रही है. Good. So what? See, this is a application. Whenever network is slow on a revise. Start your revision. अभी तक हमने जो किया उसको आप रिवाइज करो. God wants me to go slow. Okay, because this topic is so important. Thus, this is like a subtle message from the universe. Just revise what we have learned till now. Science about. Nobody is shaking. I don't know whether you are there or not.
We are there, but you are very,
Let's
yours.
continue. I think we have got the connection back. Yeah. So before understanding, okay, I'll just come. So I'll just strengthen my Wi-Fi in a few seconds.
The screen is frozen.
Screen is frozen. Yes. Is it better now?
We can hear you, yeah.
Yes. So see, as I said, this was a message from the universe at the start of the class. That let's go a bit slow today. Let's not rush into things. Okay. So I'll just revise for people who joined late. We are talking about spirituality today, the spiritual health and why it is important. But before spirituality, we are talking about science. So science understands logic. Science wants proof. Science is the understanding of nature through observation and experiments. But one thing with science is that it has advanced the technology so much. It is all about the objective world. Technology is so advanced, we could not imagine just a couple of decades ago that our life would be so easy. 20 साल पहले 20 years ago, there was no phone, there was no internet. Just believe there was no Facebooks of the world, there was no Zoom. We could not connect the way we are connecting it. So what science has done, it has made our life very easy. Right? Everybody with me? Science has made our life very convenient. There is so many luxuries in our life. But my question to you is, are you happy? Or in general, is humanity better than before, or is it worse than before? What do you think? in general.
Worse.
It is the worst ever. So this is a paradox that science is advancing so fast. Science is advancing so fast, yet most of the humanity is at its worst. This is the paradox we need to like introspect that why this is happening. We should have been in the best mental state, best physical state, best emotional state ever. But the missing link here, this is missing link. Missing link is the spiritual link. Because science always focuses on the object, it never focuses on the subject. So any experience that we have now, understand this. If you understand this, 50% of the job is done. So any experience that we have, there are two aspects to the experience. One is the subject and one is the object. What does science focus on? क्या सीखा हमने अभी तक? What does science focus on? Let me see. Suppose you are there with me.
Object.
Object. Science. And what does spirituality focuses on? The
Subject.
Subject.
The subject. So see, the objective world, the world that is there outside, it is always fluctuating. And someone said at the start of the class that spirituality is about balance. So if you're looking for a balanced state of mind, but you are always focused on the object, you are always focused on the things which are outside, can you ever maintain that balanced state of mind? Most of you are nodding no. Obviously not. You cannot maintain the balanced state of mind if you only focus on the object. What spirituality teaches us is, rather than focusing on the object, focus on the subject. So I'll share my screen once again. So this is the premise of spiritual health, why spiritual health is important. Okay, so I'll just run through the PPT. So science has developed the objective world, the comforts and amenities provided to man are almost heavenly. I think everybody will agree with this. And what is the need for spirituality? Like I told, that we are successful on the outside, but most of us are miserable on the inside. Medical science. Now let's talk about medical science. Since I teach a lot about health, medical science is more advanced than ever. They have like every square centimeter or every square millimeter of the body, they have figured it out. That what chemical reaction happens in every cell of our body, not even cell, the mitochondria. They know what is the Krebs cycle, how the energy is produced, everything science knows. But we are the unhealthiest generation. Go and look at the hospitals. All the hospitals are overflowing with energy. If medical science was so advanced, why should we be ill? Why should we be unhealthy? And the most important thing, you can eat like a rabbit. You can eat only fruits. You can eat only salads. You can exercise daily. Daily आप 4 घंटा कसरत करिए. Sleep 8 hours. Have all the supplements in the world, all the superfoods in the world, but still be unfit. Why? What's the missing link? Like I told, missing link is that science has only developed the objective world. The amenities are so alluring that we get enticed. We go into sense indulgence. And we ignore what? We ignore the self or the spirit. So spirituality means the first thing that should come to your mind is the spirit. Spirituality is nothing but the spirit expressing itself, the universal spirit expressing itself through you. Okay. Then I explained it is the subject and the object. Every experience that we have, there are two parts to it, subject and the object. So what do you think? What is the solution here then? What should be done? Come, get your thinking caps on. Now I explained everything. What is science? What is spirituality? What is subject? What is object? We have all the amenities, all the comforts in the world, but still we are miserable. Then how does spirituality come into the picture? Anyone? Anybody wants to share their views, their learnings? I know there are many world schools here who have been learning, and there is nothing right, nothing wrong. Don't worry about being right or wrong. Yeah, Baljeet aunty.
Yeah, when you say spirituality, so that means to say ki it speaks through us, as you said. So
yes, but my question, auntie, is like, how can spirituality help you attain that what you're looking for?
yeah,
What
because
we all strive for in life? What we all strive for in life? We strive for success, right? We strive for happiness. So if you want that unconditional happiness, if you want that success, how can spirituality help you in that? That is the question. Yeah, Baljeet aunty.
That's faith.
Manish,
it works on thoughts.
One at a
only.
time. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we are going deeper. Okay, in subject also, see, we are going deeper now logically. So Baljeet auntie is speaking about thoughts. Okay, Ekta, yeah, you're muted, unmuted
Yeah,
yourself.
I just want to say कि we have to perform our actions, but we should initiate our actions to a spiritual consequence.
Okay,
And we should
so
always keep in our mind that whatever action we are doing, we should connect it to some spiritual consequence.
okay, so
By
see,
doing
but
it,
has anybody here, I'm not judging you, has anybody here seen your spirit? किसी ने देखा है spirit को? So this is something which is intangible. तो पहली बात तो आप ये समझिए, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. दिस इज अनदर इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट ऑफ दिस सेशन, that never try to understand something which is tangible with your rational mind. I repeat, never try to understand something that is subjective, something which is intangible with your rational mind. So self, spirit, Atman, Brahman, all these are terms that have been given. And why do today's generation doesn't accept it? Because they want logic. तो ये तो किसी ने बना दिया. Someone has just mentioned like 5,000 years ago, aham brahmasmi, मैं ब्रह्मन हूँ. I cannot see Brahman. So they stop believing in these things. They stop believing in spirituality. So to experience this, so what's the logical thing now? Agar rational mind cannot understand what is spirituality, then what will
intuition.
understand?
We have to
Intuition.
work
We
on
should clap for. We
intuition.
should clap for. We should clap for. It's the intuitive mind. We have to connect with our intuition, because to understand something which doesn't exist in the physical realm, the rational mind can never understand that. So to connect with your spirit, to have that unconditional happiness, to have that awareness, what Ikta spoke about, that whatever actions we do, the substratum of that should be awareness. That we will learn in today's session. It's a very beautiful thing. Please stay throughout the session. It will be a total awakening today. So let's learn, how do you connect with your spirit today. So, like Deepak Chopra said in his book, so this quote is from his book, The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success. Please note down the name. Everyone should read this book. This is a prescription. Don't take it as a suggestion. Your life will change forever. I have read this book 1,000 times, but still I learn a new thing every time I read it. It's such an important book. So what Deepak Chopra says, that even with the experience of all the material comforts, luxuries, and successes, we remain unfulfilled unless we nurture the seeds of divinity within us. So we learned yesterday also in the Jivan Jat session that seeds. What are seeds? Come on, let me see. Many people were there in the Jivan Jat session. What did we learn about seeds?
Our thoughts, our thoughts.
Sort of what kind of karma?
Unseen karma.
Unseen karma. Okay. So if those seeds are rooted in divinity, I repeat, the seeds of our karma, those unseen karma, because we are now speaking about metaphysics, we are speaking about which cannot be seen, which cannot be experienced, and it cannot be experienced with the rational mind. Okay, so that seeds of divinity, unless we bolte na ki, get in touch with our divinity, get in touch with our spirit, you will never experience that what you're looking for, that unconditional happiness, unless we nurture the seeds of divinity within us. This we are going to learn today, how to nurture the seeds of divinity within you. So the most bolte na, profound question in spirituality, who am I? Because we are talking about the roots today. We are talking about the source today. So anyone, who am I?
I'm
If
aware.
anybody, okay, so I'm getting all the correct answers today. So I know there are many words, but normally when people ask who am I, what do we connect with? Either with our
Body.
name or our body. So most of us are in what we say is body consciousness, right? Everybody with me? Any doubts? Please unmute and ask. This is a very important topic. If you understand this, you don't need to know anything else. So we should understand that we are not human beings. We are not this physical existence. There is something beyond the physical. So I read this quote somewhere. It just came to my mind yesterday that we are spiritual beings. We are not human beings. We are actually spiritual beings having a human existence. very powerful quote. I don't know where I read this, but when you understand that you are not this body, you are something beyond your body. That is when you can develop the detachment. Someone type in the chat box detachment, because we are so much attached to our physical selves. That why we're suffering, why I'm going through suffering, why this happened with me, why I'm having this disease, why someone told me something. We are always in body consciousness. And when your body consciousness, like I said, things on the outside, how is it? It is like the surface of the ocean. How's the surface of the ocean? It is very wobbly. It is very turbulent. So life, we always bolte na, are in duality, pain, uh, between pain and without any pain, happiness and suffering. We are always in this duality and we suffer all our lives. I've seen people like 20 saal pehle jo hua hai, they are suffering even today. Why? Because they are in the body consciousness. So we need to understand I am not this body. Yoga also speaks about 5 koshas. Since I have done this teacher's training course from the Yoga Institute, yoga also speaks. So 5,000 years ago, Maharshi Patanjali spoke about 5 koshas. Anybody here? We did this in the session before. What are the 5 koshas? What yoga speaks about? What is the outermost layer? What is the outermost layer? We should know this. Who am I?
Annamaya kosha.
Annamay kosha. Annamay kosha. Annamay. Annamay matlab the physical self. Okay. What is now? Let's go to the subtler aspects. Okay. So what comes after Annamay kosh? Anyone?
विज्ञानमय कोश,
बहुत अंतर हो गया. उसके पहले क्या था?
प्राणमय कोश,
प्राणमय कोश. ओके. प्राणमय मतलब योर बोलते ना ये we all have heard the term pranayam. So you will be able to better able to relate to pranamaya kosh with pranayam, which is your breath, you can say, but it's a life force, I would say. The right actual, there is no actual translation for prana in English, but the closest term that comes to prana is life force. Okay. So annamaya kosh, pranamaya kosh. Now go deeper.
Is it
What comes?
Gyanmay Kosh? Third one.
It is fourth one.
Anandamay.
मनोमय,
Manomay.
Manomay Kosh. Manomay Kosh. Then it talks about the mind. Manomay Kosh. It talks about the mind. Then comes the intellect, the Vigyanmay Kosh. Intellect. And the source. And the source of it. What's the source? Come on, who will
आनंदमय
say?
कोश,
Anandmay Kosh. Anandmay, again, there is no actual translation for Anand in English, but you can say a state of bliss, a state of balance. So now somebody asks you, who are you? So don't go and preach this knowledge to the outside world, because they will say, are some psychic or some this guy has come. So just keep it to yourself right now for the time being. This is not for preaching. This is for your own understanding, because you are in the state of mind, this conditioning, and that's why you are here. Because very few people, believe me, very few people are blessed to receive this knowledge, because this is the only knowledge that can take you through. This is the only knowledge that can get rid of your sufferings. I suffered a good 38 years of my life. I used to go to the institute. I used to learn. Physically, I was very strong. On the outside, I used to run marathons, but inside, I was suffering because I never really learned about the spiritual muscles. I never really learned the true essence of self, the spirit. So everybody clear? Who am I? Who are we actually? The 5 koshas, very beautifully explained. But we are like, just to simplify it, we are going to focus on these 3 things today. These 3 aspects of our being. Everybody is with me, na, please. Nahi samajhta, you can unmute and ask. I'm just trying to simplify everything as far as possible. Okay? We are going to focus on these 3 things today. One is the source of all creation, which is divinity or spirit. So everything that you are seeing, which is manifesting in front of you, the source of all creation, whether it's your physical body, whether it is anything in the universe, the trees, the plants, the clouds, the oceans, the mountains, the sun, the planets, the universe, the Milky Way, the source of all creation is the spirit. You may call it divinity, you may call it God, you may call it nature. And how did it come into existence? The process of creation. So that is known as divinity in motion, or the mind. So as they say in spirituality, that everything that you are experiencing is a myth, some mithya hai. Okay, so it's your mind. It's everything that happens is your own mental creation. So this is the process of creation, the mind. So first was spirit, second was mind, and the object of creation, as I said, is the physical universe or the body. Very logically explained. Again, this I've taken from the book Seven Spiritual Laws of Success. So how beautifully Deepak Chopra has explained about the source of creation, the processes of creation, and the object of creation. So let's delve deeper now. What is this body? What is this mind? What is this spirit? And how it all came into existence, and how we can tap into the power of our intuition. Okay. So three components of reality we have understood now. It's the spirit, which is the source, mind, which is the process of creation, and body, which is the object of creation. So body we all know, body means not just your physical body, it means everything physical that exists in the universe. Second, I said, is the mind. This is the most important thing. All the scriptures speak about one thing. It is about your mind, because mind is so powerful. It can create hell out of heaven, it can create heaven out of hell, it can do anything. You can do what you want, you can be what you want if you learn how to harness the power of your mind. It is so important. And as I said, the spirit. So you can logically say that the body has its origin in the mind, right? And the mind has its origins in the spirit. Why? Because the spirit came first, then came the mind, and then the actual creation, the object of creation. I repeat, body has its origins in the mind, and mind has its origin in the spirit. Now, like I said at the start of the class, science is only focused on the object of creation. Clear, everybody? Science is only focused on the object of the creation, the outer world. And what we are focusing on, the inner world. Now, the mind ko do taraf se khich rahe hain, right? One is the rational mind. So rational mind takes us more towards the object of creation. So what I have done here, what I would say universe has done through me. So logically, what we can do, if you want to harness the power of the mind to gain that, what you're looking for, that unconditioned happiness. So if you are always in your rational mind, it will take you more towards the object of creation, the things which are on the outside, and you will suffer all your life. Because if the object of creation is ever changing, it is never the same. How can you be stable? How can you get that balance that you're looking for? So what's the solution? Like Ikta said, like rational mind, there is an intuitive aspect to us, which is known as the intuitive mind. This is the key to, bolte na ki, if you want to access your spirit, if you want to gain access to that vast reservoir of infinity, because spirit, as I said, it's not only you. Like most of you said at the start of the session, that oneness, that you have that universe within you. If you, and it has infinite potential. Everybody, well, then the world is the same for everyone, right? Why are some people happy? Why are some people miserable? Why are some people successful? Why are some people not that successful? Why are some people always complaining? Why are some people, in spite of not having all the comforts in the world, still they are always in a blissful state? This is the key to that lock. The lock which I'm mentioning about is spirituality, the spirit. How do you gain access to your spirit? That is the intuitive mind. That we will learn today in detail. How do you get connected to your intuitive mind? So what Einstein said, see what Albert Einstein, one of the one of the scientists, he was a scientist with the highest IQ. So here is a scientist who believes in object, who believes in experiments. What he told about the intuitive mind, that the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. What we have done, what we have created as a society, we have created a society that honors the servant, but unfortunately forgotten the gift. Just stay with this thought for a while. Let this get into your subconscious. It is so important to understand. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift. We all have the potential within us to realize that divinity. We all have this intuitive mind, but we have been like hypnotized. We have been hypnotized by the science so much that we just use our rational mind. We honor the servant, that is the rational mind, and we forget the gift, the inherent gift that we have within us, the gift of intuitive mind. This is what Einstein said. I'm not saying, and this was, we can totally trust what Einstein says because we all know who he was. So intuitive mind. What is intuitive mind? So intuition is the language of your energy field, your spirit. So spirit बोलते ना कि it is everywhere. Spirit is not something that you can एक room में लगे spirit को रख दिया, or you can keep it in a bottle, or you can take it somewhere. So what is the language of the spirit? It's your intuition. Listen to the whispers of your intuition. If you want to get rid of pain in your life, if you want to get rid of suffering into your life, get in touch with your intuition. So what is intuition? So there, like I said, Buaji came to this class. So did I invite her personally? I didn't. She come to, so that's an intuition for me, right? I'm considering this as a message from the universe, right? So when I sat under the AC today to take the class, I just turned on the AC because it was very claustrophobic. So some water dropped AC se, pata nahi, first time I've noticed ever in my life that water dropped. So I just took it as an intuition from God. That God is like, there is some intuition going on that, yes, I am with you. So you notice in your life, when you stop thinking rationally, you always have this, bolte na, that book, The Alchemist. Anybody has read the book, The Alchemist? Isne padha by Paul Coelho? Anyone? Yeah. So what does it speak about, Dolly? Any idea? What does it speak about?
So I had read in my, college days. मुझे कुछ भी याद नहीं है उसका भी.
No problem, no problem. Anybody else? Yeah. It talks about manifesting your dreams through this, through intuition. So there was a boy, he was, I think, a shepherd or something. If I remember, I also read this 15 years ago. So there was a boy who was a shepherd and he had this big dreams in his life, and how he manifested his dreams through the power of intuition. Again, a must read if you want to like experience magic in your life. I experienced magic in my life after reading these books. So Paul Coelho also speaks about intuition. Those subtle, I would say, indications. Life always gives you indications. That gut feeling that we have, this, yes, this is right for me, this is not right for me. Whether you're in a relationship, whether you are at work, whether it's related to even the small things in life, not only the bigger things in life. So the problem is that we are so much in the hustle culture today. Hustle culture में क्या होता है? भागो 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 वरना पीछे रह जाओगे. Rush into things. One job, another job. कुछ नहीं है बीच में तो you have this always. We never get in touch with our intuition. Forget about getting in touch with your spirit. What do you think logically? How do we get in touch with your intuition? Come on, I've given you enough hints now. How do you get in touch with your intuition?
Meditation.
Anyone? Meditation is one of the very powerful tools. Yes, meditation. So meditation के पहले क्या आएगा? Meditation is a very fancy word. I don't understand meditation.
Listen to your inner voice.
Listening to your inner voice, very important. So how do you listen to your inner voice? When you are hustling, तब हम सुन पाएंगे, or whether you are still stable in solitude.
Calmness.
You have to be still.
When we sit.
Yes. So first aspect of getting in touch with your intuition. Please mute yourself, Seemaji. Yeah. So first aspect, if you want to get into tap into the power of your intuition, is solitude. So very, very important. Spend time with yourself daily. When you are doing what? क्या करना है उस समय solitude में? What do we need to do? It's a one word.
We have to close our eyes and go
Okay.
inside.
But we can do many things. Close our eyes also. We can think, we can visualize.
Breathing exercises. We
Nothing.
can do breathing.
Nothing. So बोलते ना कि everything कहाँ से आया? Where does this universe came from? It came from nothingness, right? So that nothingness, that space between thoughts, That is where all the creation happens. That is where all the creativity lies. That subtle gap between thoughts. But the problem is that we're hustling so much. There is constant notifications, constant work, so much of stimulus from the outside world. That's the reason we are suffering the most. So if you want to get in touch with your intuition, sound of silence, absolutely Satyendraji, bang on. Sound of silence, stillness, where you do nothing. So just carve out. So these are practical steps now. These are practical steps how you can get into touch with your intuition. Do this every morning. If you, uh, if I can speak from my experience, morning time is the best time. Why BK Shivani speaks so much about Brahma Muhurat? I like it for today's generation, Brahma Muhurat, like they sleep in Brahma Muhurat. And I'm talking about waking up. So Brahma Muhurat is the time just before sunrise. Brahma Muhurat. Who was Brahma? Who was Brahma? Brahma ji क्या बोलते थे? Who was he? The
creator of the world.
Creator. So if you want to create a life full of abundance, create a life full of unconditional happiness, create something, do something extraordinary with your life. So you need to, that period, that Brahma Muhurat, that time, if you, अब आज के लिंगो में बात करें, today's lingo, the Wi-Fi signal with the God is the strongest. Okay, in Brahma Muhurat in simple language. So that is actually the best time. But don't worry if you don't wake up in Brahma Muhurat, you have not missed the bus. Because I personally also don't wake up in Brahma Muhurat. I wake up around 5:30, but it's just about time for sunrise. But I do sit still. सबसे पहले हम क्या करते हैं? This. इसमें alarm set मत करिए. Please don't set alarm in your cell phone, because once you take this in your hand, it's gone. Once you look at the screen first thing in the morning, you lose half the battle. Get that old सस्ता वाला 100 रुपए का alarm clock. That will be your best investment ever. That will give you multi-bagger returns in the long run. The stock market, that will give that 100 रुपए का alarm clock, and 1 hour at least don't turn on your phone. It's the time. That is the time to tap into this reservoir. You have unlimited potential within you. Many spiritual speakers or many gurus talk about that infinite reservoir of creativity is within you. So that morning time, 1 hour, spend it with yourself. Doing what? Doing nothing. Now suppose doing nothing is difficult for you. If you sit, your mind like runs haywire. You start thinking even more that I have nothing to do, because we are in this culture of doing. We are not human being anymore. We are human doing. We have to do something to survive. If you don't do something, you feel that your life is a waste. Then these practices come into the picture, like meditation. Okay, so you can do meditation. So if you find doing nothing very overwhelming, because believe me, doing nothing is the most difficult task in this world. If I just tell you sit here still for 2 minutes, don't think, your mind will think even more, because we are into this culture of doing. So doing से हमें कहाँ जाना है? Being की तरफ जाना है. तो क्या रास्ते हैं उसके लिए? One is meditation. You can practice any form of meditation. So don't have this false belief about meditation, is that meditation is I should not think. Believe me, you'll start thinking even more. It is about observing. It is just observing the present moment. Like I do at the start of the session, what do I say? Get in touch with the present moment. What day is today? What date is today? Where are you? Where do you exist? But bring your mind where your body is. That is meditation. That's it. Thoughts आएंगे 100%. I can guarantee. I can write on a stamp paper, give it to you. Almost every one of you will get a thought. Don't judge yourself. Do not judge yourself if you get a thought during meditation, because the duty of the mind is to think. It will think. क्या करना है हमें? Become a witness. Just look at the thoughts as passing clouds. जैसे clouds आते हैं ना, you don't get attached to it. हम पिक्चर देखे आते कैसे होता है? एक पर्दे पे एक चल रहा है, सिनेमा चल रहा है, हीरो है, हीरोइन है, विलन है, हीरो ने विलन को मार दिया, दोनों की शादी हो गई, and then you go away and you are just a witness. You don't carry that with you, right? So just be a witness to your thoughts. That is where you tap into the power of your intuition. That is where you get those subtle signals that yes, what I want in my life, what I want to do in my life, what I want to be in my life. That is when you get those subtle signals. Other techniques that I teach in my classes, candle gazing, a very powerful technique. I'm doing that for years now. Very powerful technique, believe me. Candle gazing, where you, it's a demo I cannot give right now, but wherein you place a candle at an arm's distance, जैसे एक हाथ से दूर जितना candle रखिए, and you just focus at the tip of the candle. Why? Because again, our mind needs something to focus on. So this is the second best option, I would say. कि चलो, if you cannot do nothing, if you cannot meditate, at least focus at one point. This is very easy. Believe me, everyone can do this. जैसे मैंने बोला ना, nobody can do nothing here. Everybody can do candle gazing. These are certain practices और भी हैं. I made a list. I'll just share the PowerPoint again. So we are learning to get into the intuitive mind. Okay. This I'll explain later on. How do you build an intuition log? So tapping into the power of intuition, solitude, like I said, first was solitude. Second, like Ekta very rightly said, some kind of meditation. You can do a guided meditation also. I have a list of guided meditations with me. उसको चालू कर लीजिए कोई device में and just listen to it. Don't turn your phone first thing in the morning. Chanting is another very powerful technique. This is the बोलते हैं ना कि language of the spirit. Chanting, when you chant, it's not like कोई भगवान का ही chant होना चाहिए. It can be a affirmation also. आज लास्ट में करेंगे. We will do this chanting at the end. So chanting doesn't mean that it has to be a fancy Sanskrit जैसे मैंने क्लास के स्टार्ट में किया. It has to be something very fancy, very something which you don't understand. That is again a false notion of spirituality, that you should wear a certain clothes and you should speak a certain language and you should not enjoy life and you cannot party, and you can wear a mini skirt and be a spiritual person, and you can wear robes like me, and you can be like a complete what I say. Okay, so chanting, candle gazing, nispand bhav is again developing the witness attitude. So this again I learned from yoga, where you just focus on the sounds. So candle gazing, you are using your vision. Nispand bhav, you close your eyes, you sit peacefully, you open your legs in front, take back support, and just close your eyes and just focus on one sound to another. See what happens. You will feel immense space. Many people here have done Nispand Bhav. Anybody here wants to share their experience of Nispand Bhav? जिन्होंने किया ये, I think Anjana aunty or Pooja have done at the Yoga Institute. What was your experience? Yeah, Seema ji, you want to say anything?
Yeah, for me, Nispan Bhava means you said that you sit down, but generally what I do, maybe because of my age and I have those leg pains and all, I generally rest my legs towards the wall and just lie down and be with
Techniques. There are
myself.
many techniques, but what did you experience when you did Nispand Bhav? Anybody here want to share the experience? Satinder ji, yeah? No? Anjana aunty, Pooja, maybe anything that you experience. Nothing right, nothing wrong. It's your experience. It's very bio individual. Pooja?
I felt relaxed. My mind felt very relaxed after doing this fun.
But did you feel being present in that moment when you just listening to that sound?
Yes.
Anjana?
I was just like during in Nispan Bhav, what you do is you just listen without judging you just listen to the sound. So you felt, you feel more present in the moment when you do Nispan Bhav.
Absolutely. So this is one technique to bringing your mind where your body is. That you're just focusing on that one sense organ. Many techniques are there. I'm just listing a few today, a few more techniques, how you can tap into the power of your intuition. So solitude is one, meditation, chanting, candle gazing, Nispan Bhav, reading from scriptures. This again, scriptures again doesn't mean Bhagavad Gita or Gurbani. Any book, any text that connects with you. See, because it is very bio-individual. Spirituality is not something that there is one size fits all thing, that this is the book, 7 spiritual laws of success. Maybe it worked for me, it may not work for you. So whatever scriptures, there is like so much of variety out there. It's like a amazing, but every scripture speaks about one thing, oneness. This is the one common thing. So any scripture that you can connect, which takes you closer to that oneness, that takes you closer to the divinity, choose your scripture. That is when not mentioning any name of the scriptures, but yes, scriptures I like manuals. Okay, it is a manual for living. They contain actually the yoga scriptures. It is so vast. There are 195 sutras. Only one sutra talks about asanas. That's 194 is about the human mind. I have read that. I am blessed to have read the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali and learned it from some of the best teachers in the world. That that actually helped me heal. People normally ask me, Manish, what medicines you took, what supplements you took, what was your routine? I said that they worked on my mind. They helped me connect with the spirit. Because when I detached from my body, see the practical application of spirituality. We just speak about spirituality, get in touch with yourself, know your true self. Now the practical use of spirituality. I had 4 autoimmune conditions in 2008. I used to take 4 painkillers every day. It was so bad. I went to the institute, Yoga Institute, Hansama. I was blessed to meet her. and her husband, Dr. Sam, Dr. Jaydev, he's no more in the physical world. And they taught me the right way of living. Yeah, they changed my diet, they changed my lifestyle. But main what they did, they worked on my mindset. So when I understood that I am not this body, this physical pain that I'm experiencing, the source is something within me, I stopped blaming myself. I took responsibility. What is responsibility? Responding with ability. I understood that I have the power to heal myself if I can tap into the potential, that reservoir of unlimited, infinite energy within me that can heal me. When I understood this, I stopped crying. I stopped blaming myself. I stopped blaming the universe that why me? Why did I get this disease? I started blessing myself that because of this, I got to learn this knowledge. And when I started these practices of solitude, meditation, candle gazing, Nispan Bhav, um, reading from scriptures, reading from these things, within 6 months, gradually all my medicines stopped. Please don't stop your medications on your own. I was under guidance. I was under professional guidance. And don't take this for my word. You can ruin your health. It was a very, very gradual thing. It was tapered down by myself. It was a risk that I took. But for the past 16 years now, I have been off all medications for all my diseases. This is a practical. See, बोलते spirituality क्या है? This is spirituality. When you tap into the power of your spirit, when you can use that to make your life better, make your the time which you are spending on this planet better. Because we are not meant to suffer in life. Anybody here wants their child to suffer? Anybody here? Most of us are parents here. Do you want your child to suffer? No. We all believe in God or some higher power or nature. So if God created you, what do you think logically? Does God want you to suffer? Hmm? But why are we suffering? We are suffering because we are only focused on the outside. भगवान ने मैं यहाँ भेजा, बोला ऐसे नहीं भेज दिया चलो जाओ तुम अपने आप सीखो. भगवान ने बुआ जी जैसी टीचर बनाई. Example there, just an example. So many teachers are there around us to teach us this knowledge which we need to thrive, not only survive. This word so often I use in my class. Thrive. Because we are not just meant to exist. You are meant to thrive. You are meant to express your unique self-expression. We all are unique. Satinder ji, such a beautiful poem she said yesterday in the Jivan Jha session. That is a self-expression, unique self-expression. I cannot write that poem ever because that is not my self-expression is to teach. So this thing emerged at night. I just thought of a topic and thought started flowing and this happened. Connect with your unique self-expression. But before that, connect with your spirit. And when these two merge, जब इन दोनों का मिलन होता है, what? Your spirit and your unique self-expression, matlab your purpose. So see, many people spoke about purpose also at the start of the session. So when your purpose, what is fueling your purpose? Your intention. Intention क्या हो सकता है? I am doing this because I want money. I am doing this because I want fame. I am doing this because I want name. I want status. I want this. If your intention is this, believe me, you will never be stable. But if your intentions are rooted in spirituality, if your intentions are rooted in spirituality, the unseen karma, what we learned yesterday in the Jivan Jha session, that is when the universe starts expressing itself through you. You will do things you never imagined. How did iPhone come into existence? Did anybody thought of iPhone 30 years ago that there will be one phone without any button? So what Steve Jobs did, he spoke a lot about intuition. This is the practical use of spirituality. He came to India to become a monk, if you don't know his story. He was in India for a year or so. He understood this. Then he went back to the US, and then Apple never looked back. And now it is the top 5 companies in the world. So what Steve Jobs speaks about, he speaks about intuition. That he tapped into the power of his inner wisdom, his inner voice. That he bucked all the trends. Just an example that I'm giving. Many examples are there around us. If you look around, how creation happens, how creativity expresses itself. Everybody with me? Yeah. Any doubts, anything, any questions you have till now? So this is, we are learning how to tap into the power of your intuition. I've explained you the practical usage also, that why it is important to connect with the spirit within you. So reading from scriptures is one way. Next is Anitya Bhavana. This is again a technique that I learned at the Yoga Institute, where you understand the impermanence of things around you. that everything around you, everything in the objective world is impermanent. So if I say this, everything in the objective world is impermanent. So you understood the subject-object relationship we spoke at the start? Okay. So suppose me and this phone. What is the subject? What is the object? Come on, try. Me and this phone. I'm looking at this phone. What is the subject here? What is the object here?
Both object.
Okay. Anybody else? But see, I'm looking at the phone. So logically, this is the object of experience, and I'm experiencing this. So I'm the subject of experience.
Subject.
Right. Let's go deeper now. Okay, let's go deeper. This physical body. Now what Ekta spoke about. So I'm coming to what. So Ekta is like all evolved and she can like be the next spiritual guru. Yes, Ekta was right. Actually, both are objects. We need to understand that even your body, even this body is Nashwant. But we are so much in our body consciousness. मेरे बेटे को कुछ नहीं हो जाए, मेरे पिता को कुछ नहीं हो जाए, मेरी माँ को कुछ नहीं हो जाए. And even years before anything happens to them, you suffer. जैसे कोई अमर होके आए यहाँ पर. Anybody here who is immortal here, even Buaji or me or anybody is immortal here, then why are you attached? So what Anitya Bhavana says is that whatever is there in the morning is not there at noon. Whatever is there at noon is not there at night. So if things around you are ever changing, everything that is the object of your experience is impermanent, then why are you attached to that? Such an important concept to understand if you want to learn about spirituality. The theory of impermanence, anitya bhavana. That when you are rooted in this, believe me, all the worries, all the anxieties, all the fear of failure, fear of losing, that will go away. And when you operate from a space of fear, you attract negativity into your life. And when you attract from the space of that spirit, that hope, faith, we will learn what are the qualities of spirit later on. But we'll come to that later on. That is when then the magic starts happening in your life. That is when you become that निडर इंसान क्या नहीं कर सकता. अगर हम डर डर के काम करेंगे, all your energy goes. You start to overthink. You start to क्या नहीं होता हमारे साथ में when we like operate from fear. I don't need to go into details. Everybody has experienced that, I believe, in their lives. But when you are free, that carelessness, that बोलते हैं ना कि कुछ भी हो जाए, I don't care. Make this your mantra. I don't care about the results. I am just focused on my action. I take this class, one person comes well and good, no one comes well and good, this will go on. I don't care about the outcome of this. कितना मजा आएगा काम करने में. You will be like in sixth gear. गाड़ी भाग रही है एकदम, and no one can stop you. Believe me. Once you learn, once you drop that attachment to the results. So operate from a space of hope, not from a space of fear. That is when you tap into your intuition, tap into that divine energy within you. Yeah, somebody is unmuted. You want to share anything? Madhuji? No? Okay. Please mute yourself. So Anitya Bhavana is another technique to tap into the power of your intuition. Non-judgment. This is again very, very important because again, we have been like trained since childhood to judge ourselves, to judge others. We are always bolte na ki thinking something, never tapping into the power of that space between the thoughts that I spoke about a bit earlier. So practice non-judgment every day. So a very powerful quote that you can repeat yourself many times in the day. So if you're not able to do it throughout the day, at least do it for a certain time. That for the next 10 minutes, I shall judge nothing that occurs. Over the next 1 hour, if you like, if you have time, if you want to go deeper, for the next 1 hour, I'll just be a witness. I shall judge nothing that occurs. Just do it for a day. Just do it for a few minutes also. You will experience, it cannot be like translated into words. You will experience that divine energy that I felt yesterday after the Jivan Jat session. That is because of which this presentation, this knowledge just flowed through me. This is what happens when you practice non-judgment, when you don't have any fear. Commune with nature. Very important point. क्यों मैं चिल्ला चिल्ला के हमेशा बोलता हूँ कि go out in nature. We are not meant to live in four walls. हम चार दीवारी में रहने के लिए हम नहीं बने हैं. We are not supreme. भूल जाइए ये जो भ्रम है हमारा कि हम इंसान हैं. I am the most supreme being on this planet. This is your ego. So the same force that created these plants, the mountains, the clouds, the rivers, the grass, the ant, that same force created you. You are a part of nature. But what we have done, we have like compartmentalized our life. We have disconnected ourselves from the nature so much that we don't connect to our true selves. So nature में आके क्या करना है? ऐसा नहीं कि आप म्यूजिक सुने, you just go there, just be, experience that. It's magic. When you are in the midst of nature, the thoughts that you get, the insights, the intuition, it is very active when you're in the midst of nature. So maybe you can go walk barefoot on a ground. Grounding is a very powerful exercise, practical exercise that you can do. तो ग्राउंड मतलब ये नहीं है कि हम कंक्रीट रोड पे चले या जमीन पे चले या घर पे खाली पैर चले. You should be in contact with the earth because there are certain vibrations that come out of the earth, certain energy, certain ions, which actually manifest within you. So beach में जाएंगे तो खाली पैर चलिए. अगर suppose you are going to a beach, suppose you are going to a park, if there is grass, walk barefoot on the grass. Do some grounding practices. Sunlight, you get so much energy from sun. Believe me, if you take even 20 minutes of sunlight morning daily, your requirement for food will drastically go down. Your health will improve automatically. Health will improve होगा. You'll get a lot of vitamin D. But apart from that, that wisdom from the sun. So everything in nature is there for a purpose. ऐसा मत सोचिए कि भगवान ने ऐसे ही बना दिया है. Everything that is there in the nature is for your own self development. But मैं nature बोलता हूँ तो लोग बोलते हैं मेरे घर में nature है. I can like walk in the balcony and that is nature. That is not nature. That is not nature. Nature means you become one with everything around you. That non-duality what Vedanta speaks about. That भूल जाइए you are supreme or you are inferior, you are superior, and we are all one. We are all मतलब ये नहीं कि only इंसान are one. Even that animal, even the plants, everything in nature around you. Because why? Why everything is one? Because now we know that the source of all creation is divinity. So everything emerged from divinity, just took different shapes. I became a boy, you became a girl, somebody became an animal, somebody became a plant. And when you have that, then you start developing compassion. Compassion from each other. You don't look anybody कि ये मेरे से inferior है या वो मेरे से superior है. We know that we are all equal. How beautiful world would be if we can develop this attitude that we are all one. This is what tapping into your intuition, being in nature, understanding these concepts, so important. Yeah. So this is what I learned at IIM yesterday, that to be in tune with your intuition is to be in tune with your microcosm. So microcosm is you can see your energy that is there within you, the spirit within you. That is the reflection of the macrocosm. Macrocosm means the universal energy, you can say in simple words. So to be in tune with your intuition, if you are in tune, जो आप मैंने आपको practices बताए and everything that we learn about the intuition is to be in tune with your microcosm. So you don't need to look outside anywhere if you want to connect with your spirit. Microcosm मतलब just go within. It's the journey within that we need to undertake. You don't need to go anywhere. So there is a quote by Franz Kafka. I'll just bring that because that is very relevant in this context. So this is again I read in the book Seven Spiritual Laws of Success. You don't need to go anywhere. Yeah. Where is it? Yes. Can somebody read out for me this thing? Yeah.
You need
Somebody
not leave your room. Can you hear everybody?
Yes, yes. You're Dolly.
You need not leave your room. Remain sitting at your table and listen. You need not even listen. Simply wait. You need not even wait. Just learn to become quiet, still, and solitary. The world will freely offer itself to you to be unmasked. It has no choice. It will roll in ecstasy at your feet. By Franz Kafka.
So he was an Austrian philosopher and poet who 200-300 साल पहले उन्होंने ये लिखा था ये. So what does he speak about? You don't need to go anywhere. You need to be spent in solitude. What does he mean? It's the same thing, tapping into the power of your spirit. So many teachers all over, Einstein, Franz Kafka, speak about the same thing. All the scriptures, believe me, all the scriptures speak about going that inward, taking that inward journey. Yoga speaks about that inward journey, that you don't need to rush if you want everything in life. We are not meant to suffer in life. Everything in life should be effortless. Because God didn't meant you to suffer in life. We are suffering just because of our own we have this judgments and we have this false interpretation of the reality. We never get in touch with the true reality. हमें पता ही नहीं है कि what is real, what is unreal. This is why we suffer in life. And if you want to end the suffering, I gave you a long list of things that you can do. So here, see, it's a very important thing. You need not leave the room. Remain sitting at your table and listen. You need not even listen, simply wait. You need not even wait. Just learn to become quiet, still, and solitary. So, like I said at the start of the session, if you want to understand the outside world, कौन सा mind use करना है आपको? Which mind do you know? The rational mind, right? And if you want to tap into the power of your inner world, your spirit, which mind do you need to use? The intuitive mind. Now the problem is that outside mind के लिए हमारे पास क्या दिया भगवान ने? Outside world के लिए भगवान ने क्या दिया? How do we experience the outside world? How do we experience the outside world? Through our dash five
sense organ.
Five sense organs. Super. So everything that we are experiencing right now, because it is very limited. So मत समझिए कि आप पूरी दुनिया को देख रहे हैं. These five senses are very limited. Okay. So we experience through our five senses. You can see, you can hear, you can taste, smell, touch. Right. But अगर आपको अंदर जाना है, आपको अंदर जाना है, आपको एक्सपीरियंस, तो you need to what? You need to see the unseen. बोलेंगे यार क्या बात कर रहा है? How can I see the unseen? कभी हुआ है आपके साथ? Some intuition came and जो चीज होने वाली आपको पहले पता चल गया. Anybody had that experience? Don't need to go into detail. I have this experience many times. And for my work, for my classes, something I visualize and that happens. Huh? This is power of visualization, that you are seeing the unseen, hear the unheard. Satyendra saying yes. Huh? Hear the unheard, know the unknown, and feel the unfelt. So these are the four clairs. So if you want to work on this is psychic healing, actually. This is the four clairs. This is a bit complex, so don't get worried. You can take a photograph if you want. I'm going to introduce something. It's a amazing knowledge. I felt the benefit in a day after listening to this from my teacher. Sorry, it got disconnected again. I'm just going to share the screen. Yeah. So we are going to learn about the four clairs. How do you go beyond the senses? Because आपको अगर inner world अगर experience करना है ना, it cannot happen with the five senses. So you have to go what? Go beyond the senses. So for going beyond the senses, we are going to experience this. The four clairs, they are called the four clairs. Yeah. So first clair is called as clairvoyance. Again, डर मत जाइए क्या बोल रहे हैं. Second is clairaudience. Third is clairsentience. And the last one is claircognizance. So what clairvoyance means? It means clarity in vision. Vision मतलब आप जो बाहर देख रहे वो नहीं. It means seeing the unseen. Clairaudience is clarity in hearing. Hearing which is inaudible. Clairsentience, what does this mean? Clarity in feelings. Sensing the intangible, because spirit is not something you can touch. But how can you sense it? Clairsentience, when you have that clarity in feelings, when you are in touch with your intuition, when you're in touch with your feelings. And last is claircognizance, which is clarity in knowing. Knowing what? Knowing the unknown. Any questions regarding this? Because this is metaphysics, this is psychic healing that we are doing today. And believe me, if you trust in the higher power, the spirit, your healing has started. Because now you know the secrets. These are the secrets to tap into the. I'm not healing you. You are healing yourself. Why I say heal yourself? The program that I launched, the health coaching program, I've named it Heal Yourself because I know as a coach, I can only show you the modalities of healing, but it is you, the patient or the client, who has to heal himself. And healing cannot happen without this. Otherwise, it will all be superficial. It will all be temporary. It will all be that fad that you do this, you lose this weight, ek baar to chala gaya, and then you come back and even worse. But look at me, something which has persisted for 15 years, 16 years. This is not a fad. This is not just a placebo effect that I got rid of my diseases. Every day when you get in touch with your true self, and this is an everyday thing. Don't think कि once you do and you are set forever. This should be your daily practice. We should. तो उसके लिए हमें क्या करना है? एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करना है. सब करेंगे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आज. Everybody, let's do a contract today. कौन सा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करना है? हाँ, सबको पता है. I spilled the beans earlier. It's the spiritual contract. तो जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इन्होंने लॉ पढ़ा है, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इज बिटवीन टू पार्टीज, राइट? तो ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किसके बीच में होगा? ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट जो हमारा होता है किसके बीच में होगा? कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बिटवीन यू एंड व्हाट?
Self, inner
Our
self.
spirit.
You and your spirit. So let's understand this concept of spiritual contract. Book निकाल लीजिए. Now it's the time to take out your books and pens. Now it's the time for actual practice. So right for spiritual. Give a header, a spiritual contract. So this contract is between me matlab this physical self, okay? Not that me, yeah, and my spirit. Now the problem with this contract is there is no one size fits all. So for me matlab Manish, not the physical, not spirit. If I want to tap into the power of my spirit, I should express what? My unique self-expression. So what is that for me? That is teaching, right? So that comes naturally to me. I am completely meditating right now, I can say. I do not experience this in meditation. I do not experience this in solitude. But when I teach, when I get this mic in my hand, and when I have people around me, and when I am a teacher, that is when I connect with my spirit. So how do you connect with your spirit? That is very bio-individual. So for me, I am a teacher. I will teach every day. I will find out moments to teach because that helps me connect with my spirit. So you are dash. You will do this daily. So that is why do what you love. Why do many teachers say? Huh? Find out what you're good at. Find out what you love to do. If that becomes a profession, well and good. If it doesn't, if it cannot become your profession, at least practice it daily for some time, because that will help you. That will help you connect with your true spirit. Find out any hobby you have. Many things can happen. You like to sing, you like to dance, you like poem. जैसे certain her unique expression. जितना मैंने उनको देखा है थोड़ा बहुत अभी तक, I can make out that she is a poet. If she doesn't use that, अगर आप में कोई skill है, then you are dishonoring that creator. That you know, भगवान बोलेगा मैंने मनीष को यहाँ भेजा. I gave him all this knowledge. I gave him this knack for teaching, but he chose to become a businessman only, and he's only earning money. Then I'm restricting the flow of abundance into my life. And believe me, when I started taking these classes a few years ago, abundance started flowing in my life in unexpected ways. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये मैं क्लास कर रहा हूँ तो I am doing a disservice to my work or my family or my life. But I am tapping into the power of my spirit. So do a spiritual contract. Maybe you can do it later on, or you can do it now if you want. Yes, this is what I am meant for in life. This is my purpose in life. I am meant to this. So Rita Bhabhi is the best raw chef in the world. If she's not teaching, she is doing a disservice to humanity because she can spread health, message of health through raw food diet. Because she's very good at that. Example, just an example that comes to my mind. She's my student for the last 2 years, my relative also. So if Anjana auntie has this knack for healing with nature, why doesn't she expresses herself? Why doesn't she announce herself? Because we have that imposter syndrome that I'm not good at this. And when you have that fear within you, you are limiting that flow of abundance into your life from all the directions. Just go out, announce to the world what you are good at. Do it. Experience that contract जो आप अपने साथ कर रहे हैं. You are doing this spiritual contract with you. So spiritual contract को अगर basic अगर define करना है, how my teacher defined that, I'll just show you what's the spiritual contract. I'll not take much of your time. Yeah. So it's a contract between you and your energy. Can you look at the screen, this one? The contract between you and your energy. Somebody say yes.
Yes, we can see.
Yes. So it's like your GPS, your lighthouse. So my GPS is that I am a teacher. My purpose here, I have discovered that I can influence people lead healthy lives. I can help people lead their best lives. So that's my GPS, my constitution, my lighthouse. That I am here for a purpose. I'm not here just out of randomness. Nothing in the nature is random. Everything that exists has a purpose. So it's your GPS. Your spiritual contract is a GPS. It's a boundary, a safe space, a container, a parameter for your inner wisdom to reside in. So make a list of things. I'm just telling you, make a list of things which you are comfortable with or not comfortable. What is serving you, what is not serving you. Why? Because your intuition. This is the best expert. This is the best expert. So work on it. Daily practice. It's like a muscle. Spirituality is a muscle. एक दिन में नहीं होगा. Don't think that 40 years you have lived a certain way. एक class attend किया and your life will change forever. I am here. This class is not the result of 1 hour of my effort. It's the 16 years of sadhana that this knowledge is flowing through me. Work on it daily. How Bhuaji says, नाम सिमरन रोज करो आप. Whatever connects with you. रोज करो. Do it daily. Take it as a prescription. डॉक्टर दवाई देता है ना यार, दवाई नहीं लेंगे तो ब्लड शुगर बढ़ जाएगा. Book is your medicine. This is your. She has named it नाम सिमरन injection. Whatever connects with you. Naam Simran, just an example I'm giving. Whatever connects with you, connect with your spirit. A lot of examples I gave today, a lot of these things. Usse kya hoga? If you do that, then you will experience what true success. And what is true success? What is true success? It is the experience of the miraculous, what I experienced yesterday evening, what I'm experiencing now. True success is nothing just money and fame and good health and relationships and all the things material. But it is experience of the miraculous when not one time, but every moment of existence, that everything that happens, that exists around me is a miracle. When you experience life as a miraculous expression of divinity, the unfolding of the divinity within us, where you perceive divinity in everything and every being around you, that is true success. Success is, बोलते ना कि you can have all the money in the world, all the fame. जैसे मैंने बोला, science has made everything so nice, but still why we are miserable? This is the formula that I've shared today for true success. So how Deepak Chopra says it. So when we begin to experience our life as the miraculous expression of divinity, not occasionally, चलो आज मेरा मन है तो मैं एक्सपीरियंस कर रहा हूँ, मेरे हिसाब से चीज नहीं गया तो भगवान क्या कर दिया, भगवान ने, भगवान पे ब्लेम चालू कर दो आप. You start blaming God, you start blaming your relatives that why things are not right in my life. Just ask yourself, what is the message universe is trying to teach me through this experience, through this suffering? This is the way you can transmute your karma, your unseen karma, because of which you are suffering today. So it should not be conditional. This miraculous expression of divinity should not be conditional कि चीजें मेरे हिसाब से चल रही है तो मैं अल्लाह अल्लाह पुकारूंगा या भगवान भगवान पुकारूंगा, and कल कुछ मेरे साथ गलत हो गया, then भगवान, God doesn't exist. It cannot be conditional. So when we begin to experience our life as a miraculous expression of divinity, not occasionally but all the time, then we will know the true meaning of success. So what last time मैंने बोला था, certain qualities of divinity, how can, जैसे last time हमने सीखा था last class में about radiating what, क्या radiate करना है हमें, क्या सीखा था हमने? Come on, anybody remembers? What did we learn about what, क्या बोला था last में? You would have word with E. Yesterday मैंने उसमें creative बनाया था. Radiate what? Come on, I'll give punishment to my student.
Energy.
No. Excellence. It was about being the best version of yourself. We were talking about financial health and how you can use your creative self-expression to or attract that financial abundance into your life. So we spoke something about radiating excellence. So आज हम क्या सीख रहे हैं about radiating divinity. So if you want to radiate divinity of your life, so what are the qualities you need to develop in yourself? Can somebody read out what are the qualities of, if you want to radiate divinity? Such a beautiful word this is. Yeah.
Love,
Unconditional
total,
love.
unwavering, unconditional love, total acceptance, unwavering faith, surrender to the moment.
Yes. So first is unconditional love. Again मैंने बोला ना कि there cannot be conditions to love. That उसने मेरे साथ अच्छा किया तो मैं उसको प्यार करूंगी, उसने मेरे साथ बुरा किया तो हम उसको गाली देना चालू कर देंगे, उसको ब्लेम करना चालू कर देंगे, एंड ही इज अ नार्सिसिस्ट. मैंने नया वर्ड कल सुना, आई नेवर हर्ड दिस वर्ड बिफोर, माय इंग्लिश इज नॉट दैट गुड. या, so you start blaming the situation, the person. That should be unconditional, that whether that person does good to me, whether that person does bad to me, because I understand I'm not this body, I'm the spirit, and the same spirit that resides within me, that same spirit resides within him or her also. We are all one. So because it is of their own the conditioning that they are behaving with you like this, and they are just expressing their own insecurities maybe. So have compassion, have kindness for them. Look at them daya bhavana se dekhiye unko aap, automatically you will start have that unconditional love towards every person, every being. Second was what? Total acceptance. So acceptance again aisa nahi ki I accept what I want. So one very powerful affirmation that I learned was my acceptance of this moment. My acceptance of this moment is total and complete. Very powerful affirmation that you can do. I do this daily. I believe in the power of affirmations because affirmations are like you are sending some frequency to the universe and that like boomerangs back to you. So kaisa hona chahiye? My acceptance of this moment is total and complete. The third thing that we spoke about was unwavering faith. Trust the process of life. Trust the process of life. That, जैसे मैंने बोला, everything is happening for a reason. And I believe a very strong reason is that everything that I come across is for my own spiritual development, is for my own self-development. All the sufferings that I've gone through, all the diseases I've gone through, all the financial losses maybe I've gone through, all the trauma that I've gone through, I am grateful for that. Because I have what? I have unwavering faith. Kisme? In the Creator. I have unwavering the Creator, that every situation that I can come across in my life was for one thing, for making me stronger. So like Swami Vivekananda said, that this world is a gymnasium. This world is a gymnasium and you have come here for a limited period of time. You matlab the spirit. You have come here for a limited period of time to make yourself stronger. To make your spirit stronger. You become stronger. The spirit was perfect, but it was we need to like remove those layers. And what happens if you do not remove that? Then that cycle of birth and rebirth that start. So that moksha that many scriptures speak about it, not that moksha, that liberation that you get after your death. It's the liberation that you experience right now, every moment of experience. That what is liberation? Liberation hai ki you are not bound by anything. You are that spirit. You experience that every moment of that miraculous expression of divinity all the time, not occasionally. That is liberation. And what was the last one? याद है किसी को? First was unconditional love, total acceptance. Third was unwavering faith. Fourth was most important thing, my favorite word, my
Surrender.
favorite.
To be in the
Surrender to
Live in the
the
present.
be in the present moment.
To be in the present moment, to surrender to the moment in front of you. Surrender मतलब giving up नहीं होता, that you give up. Doesn't mean that you give up. You surrender that you don't want universe to expect the way you, as per your likes and dislikes. आज बारिश क्यों हो रही है? Why is it raining today? I want to go to North Mumbai. It is raining. It will take 4 hours. अरे boss, who are you? I am to decide whether बारिश आज होनी चाहिए कि नहीं होनी चाहिए. Just an example. Just an example. अरे आज ही ट्रैफिक मिलना था. I want to catch a flight. You want world to run as per your whims and fancies, and you suffer all your life, and you break that flow of energy jo aani chahiye into your life. You are breaking that flow. So what's the solution? You just accept every circumstance as it is. Every circumstance as it is, not as you want it to be. You surrender to the moment in front of you. So a book recommendation here is The Surrender Experiment. अगर किसी को पढ़ना है, this is another one book, this book and this book. वो book मेरे पास पता नहीं है, I have a tendency of losing that book. This is The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. The other book is The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. These two books I carry with me everywhere. That book's lost now. चौथा book मैंने खो दिया हूँ. I don't know what message universe is trying to give me. That I'm losing that book again and again. Yeah, so I just buy another copy. So this teaches you. It's a very powerful. It's an autobiography of the author, and just read that. Wonderful read. Your life is going to change forever if you get the message and don't read it. Study it. AK concept, especially first few chapters, are very powerful. You will understand the concept of surrender in detail. That wherein when you let go of your likes and dislikes, you let the universe flow through you. That creative energy will start flowing through you. And believe me, life will take you places. Like this classes happened. Had I been, I'm not a good public speaker, I was a very bad public speaker. Believe me. I didn't knew this voice modulation, this eye contact, this nothing, and fear, dhak dhak chalu ho jata, pasine chhut jate. Just 3-4 years ago, I had this fear. But when I surrendered, I announced to the world I want to take a master class. It was about positive, some how to get rid of fatigue and how to motivate yourself. बहुत डर लगा था मुझे. I was fearful, but I operated from a space of hope that we learned. And see how this creative energy. Yeah, can somebody type in the chat box the name of the book for Gita Aunty? Yeah? So that creative energy started flowing through me. This is how the world expresses that spirit, that Bhagwan, you become one with divinity, that non-duality. What every scripture speaks about, that is when you experience that in your life. That there is no duality between me and Satyendraji, no duality between me and Simaji. We all are one spirit. That is the secret. This is the secret. This is the secret which is open. But now you know, now you have the tools. That how do you tap into that? Any questions anybody has? Just mention the name of the author also, Pooja. It will be better for her. Any questions anybody has? Any sharing? Any learnings? Anything that hit you? Anything? Yeah. Or shall we do let's do a short guided meditation. Come, let's close our eyes. I'll just take 5 minutes more of yours. It's 7:55. Is anybody getting late? 7:55. Yeah, come. Let's sit still. Let's do nothing for the next few seconds. Let's see what happens. आंखें बंद कर लीजिए. Be comfortable whether on a chair, on the floor. Don't take any back support if possible. Just keep your spine comfortably erect. Lift your shoulders, roll it slightly back. थोड़ा सा roll back करिए अपने shoulders. Keep your chin parallel to the ground. Let's take a journey within, an inward journey. Let's start by focusing on the sounds in the environment. Whatever sound you can listen. Whether it is sound of the fan, sound of the birds chirping, sound of me speaking. Just keep the attention to the sounds. You can shift from one sound to another. Whenever a thought comes, just witness those thoughts as passing clouds. Bring the attention back to the sound. Just repeat the affirmation in your mind. I am not this body. I am not this mind. Pure awareness. I am. I repeat. I am not this body. I am not this mind. Pure awareness. I am. I am not this body. I am not this mind. Pure awareness. I am. I am not this body. I'm not this mind. Pure awareness. I am. Just take the attention to your breath. Ease into every breath. We practice Om chanting. What we do in Om chanting is we inhale, exhaling. You can chant a humming sound also if you're not comfortable with Om, but we will just do some vibrations, sound vibrations. So inhale, exhaling. Inhale. Inhale. Let's end the session with a small prayer. So you can join your palms in Namaste at the center of your chest. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रिये वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावं करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि श्रीनारायणायेति समर्पयामि. To speak with the vibrations, what this mantra means, that whatever thoughts, deeds, actions, results, I'm not the doer. I surrender everything to the Supreme, to the Narayan, and that Narayan is within me. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Very slowly and gently, with a smile on your face. Cup your palms, cup your eyes. Very important. Smile is very important. It's the language of the spirit. Very important. Smiling, laughing, being happy in your life. That's the most important skill. जो भी हम करते हैं, भगवान कितने खुश होंगे अगर आप खुश है तो. हाँ, आपके बच्चे खुश होते तो आप कितने खुश होते हैं. That my child is happy. So if you are happy, if you are smiling, so this session should never end without a song. So spiritually doesn't mean कि हम serious बैठ के बने बैठे रहे और तो I will just share. Let me see if I can find it. Yes, I think I have it. So it's a 5-minute thing. So if you have work, आप घर का काम भी करते रहिए, गाना सुनते रहिए, because I love music. So my music is another expression of बोलते हैं the soul expressing itself. So this is my. She is a singer from Pakistan, Dr. Rida Khan. She's a doctor actually, and her creative self-expression is to motivate people through songs. So I have to stop the recording because YouTube may block it. So I'm just stopping the